Father, you guide and govern everything with order and love. Look upon the assembly of our city leaders and fill them with the spirit of your wisdom. May they always act in accordance with your will and their decisions be for the peace and well-being of all. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, all. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Adams.
Here.
Jones. Here. Cefaratti.
Here.
Jackson.
Here.
Brownlee.
Here.
Trojanski.
Here.
Agee. Here. Albers.
Here. There is no addendum this evening. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the special meetings on June 25th, September 5th, and September 10th, 2014 as amended?
So moved.
Call the roll, please. I thought I heard a second.
Second.
Adams. Adams. Jones. Yes. Cefaratti.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Yes.
Trojanski.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes. There are no communications or committee reports. Let's go back and do some more minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the special meetings on May 14th, 2014, June 11th, 2014, and an emergency meeting on September 23rd, 2014, as presented. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll.
Adams.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Cefaratti.
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
Brownlee.
Abstain.
Trojanski.
Yes.
Agee.
Yes. Thank you. We move to the department reports now, and we'll start with Fire Department Deputy Chief Castellucci.
Thank you, Madam President. This Friday, the administration of the chief's test will be given, and that will be about 8 a.m. It will start in about a 4 to 5 hour test. There are 3 fellows that have signed up for the test. The results are expected on Tuesday, so it is quite possible by next Friday you may have a new test, a new chief. End of report.
Well, thank you, Chief. Law Department, Mr. Montello.
No report, just thank you, Chief. If we don't see you, I'm sure we'll see you somewhere.
Police Department Chief Papalachi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Through the month of September, we finished with 1,964 calls for service, which brings our total calls for service for the year through September 30th to 18,148. At the last levy meeting, there was a complaint brought up by Mr. Barker from McCracken regarding an officer bagging groceries at the Marathon Station at the corner of Maple Heights Boulevard and Mooresville Center. I sent one of our supervisors, Lieutenant Barfield, up there to review the videotape of the incident to see what exactly had occurred. Mr. Barker was correct in the fact that there was an officer bagging groceries there. However, it was a Mooresville Heights police officer. That information has been passed along to their police chief. All of our officers were busy on calls at that time, and that's the end of it as far as we're concerned. I would like to stress, if you do have a complaint regarding any of our officers, I just ask you to bring them to our attention. We'll take them 24/7. You're welcome to come to our police station at any time, and we will address them. If you're not satisfied with that, obviously you can go to council meeting. There's not a whole lot that I can do for you here in the open forum, but I'm happy to have either myself or one of my supervisors address any concerns you have about what we're doing. Also, in an effort to kind of share information and get into 2014, the new millennium, the police department now has a Facebook page, a Twitter page, or a Twitter account, and a Google account, Google Plus, sorry. These have been created with the intent to make you more aware of the things that are going on here around the city in a more real-time fashion. Our officers have supervised a lot of access to these accounts. The Twitter account we use primarily to post things such as road closures, traffic accidents, that kind of thing. The Facebook page will be used more to communicate, for example, the traffic camera notices, information regarding those kind of things, missing persons, warrants of people that we're looking for, persons of interest in crimes, a whole litany of things. The page is up and active, so please, just do a search for it and like it. Same thing with the Google Plus. There's the one thing that I do ask, look, I understand that not everybody's going to like us, and I don't mean like us in a Facebook way. However, what I would just ask that if you have comments, if you want to make comments, we're happy to listen to them. Just be respectful. If you're not, I'll have no problem with banning you or whatever it is, defriending you from the page. Again, it's not a matter of hearing negative comments. It's simply a matter of how they present the comments. Please, if you wouldn't say it to my face, don't say it on the Facebook page. Finally, the traffic camera update. In today's neighborhood news, there is a public notice on page 6 regarding the placement and activation of the school zone cameras and a camera that has also been placed on East 141st Street. These cameras will be activated on Monday, October 6, 2014 at 12:01 a.m. So they're going to be live on Monday morning for the school traffic. Okay, and at the time when they're not conducting school zone enforcement, they will in fact be enforcing the regular speed limit, which I believe is 35 miles per hour on both streets. And of course, you would not get a citation unless you were 11 miles over the speed limit. I have the times for the school zones. I'm going to read them because there is an adjustment. In order to try to be fair with this as well, and knowing that some people's clocks are a little off from others, the enforcement times for the school zone is going to start a little bit later than what they would normally start according to the signal service who sets the times on the flashing signs. The actual school zone times, according to signal service, are as follows. On Lee Road, by the high school, they run from 7:15 a.m. to 8 a.m. and in the afternoon from 2:35 p.m. to 3:20 p.m. On Dunham Road, they run from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and from 2:38 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. The traffic cameras that are placed on those roads will not begin their enforcement until on Lee Road. They won't start until 7:20, so there'll be a 5-minute time delay before we start enforcement. And they will end at 7:55, and also on Lee Road in the afternoon, it'll go from 2:40 p.m. to 3:15 p.m. On Dunham Road, it will start at 7:40 a.m., it's a 10-minute delay, and it'll end at 9:20 a.m., and in the afternoon, it'll go from 2:40 p.m. to 4:20 p.m. Again, we're just trying to be fair about that in terms of giving people, making sure that the clocks, so that they don't think that, obviously, it's a minute later, we're not going to give you a citation for that. Finally, also in regards to the traffic cameras, there were some concerns brought up about the camera on 141st Street because of previous meetings I had stated that I would not place another camera in the city until at least the first of the year. I was approached by a number of council people, I was approached by a number of citizens. Aaron Mitchell from one of the districts spoke at one of the council meetings here regarding the placement of the cameras and the fact that there were not any cameras on the west side of town. I wouldn't have placed it without the support of council, without being asked to do so, but I've had a number of complaints from residents. The Crimes Block Watch has always been on me about the speeders on East 141st Street. So camera is there. That camera is located at East 141st Street and Kennerdown, right at the corner. So if you're from that area, if you're traveling through that area, be aware that it's there. On the public notice, it stated that it was between Pease and Thrash, and it is, but I'm giving the specific location so that you're aware to monitor your speed. I can tell you that's been a traditional problem for us on that street as well as far as high speeds. If you remember, one of the gentlemen here at the council meeting before made comment that was the street that had all these stop signs on it, and they were removed because they were in violation of the state law and state ordinances. I know that after leaving the levy meeting last week that I was out on a call of an armed robbery from the Granger Court Apartments, and we stopped a few people there, and the cars were flying by us at 10:30 at night. I mean, it's a problem, and hopefully this will address some of that problems and also satisfy some of the complaints from the residents. And finally, then, Lieutenant Laura Part from our department was awarded a certificate of achievement for efforts in the Clicker Ticket program from the OVI Task Force. So we want to congratulate her for that. And with that, I conclude my report.
Thank you, Chief. Human Services Department, Mrs. Bopan.
Thank you, Madam President. Couple things on the back table. There are forms if you have not received your request for an absentee ballot and you'd like to do so. you can send them in there in the back there. Also, October 6th is the last day for you to register to vote or to change your voting address. There are forms back there to do that as well, but those need to get to the Board of Elections by October 6th. If you need a ride to the polls and you are over 60 or disabled, you can call the Maple Heights Senior Center and we will schedule a ride for you. We want to thank a few people tonight. One is the Gospel House and the Hungarian Businessmen and Tradesmen Club next door. They take donations, they get donations from Panera's and Giant Eagle of bread and bagels and muffins and a number of things. They've been very generous with sending them over to the Senior Center, and we in turn have taken them over to our food pantry. And the people are very grateful to get that. So again, we're thanking the Gospel House, the Hungarian Businessmen and Tradesmen Club in Maple Heights, and Panera's and Giant Eagle for their generosity to those two organizations. Also, for those of you who have donated this last year to Harvest for Hunger, you might wonder what they do with the money. And when they get it, they add it all up and send it to food pantries such as the Maple Heights Food Pantry. So we received an award letter from the Cleveland Food Bank that we will be receiving $1,465 every month from now until March. And then the amount will be adjusted starting April 1st. And what they're going to do is there are agencies who don't do their paperwork on time and don't do what they're supposed to do. Thankfully, Evelyn Knuckles runs our food pantry very well, and we don't have that problem. And they said there's most likely will be an adjustment at that time up to give us more donations for the pantry. So we want to thank all of you who are generous with Harvest for Hunger and to the Cleveland Food Bank for distributing that money in an equitable way across all of Northeast Ohio. Thank you, end of report.
Thank you, Mrs. Bobia. We now come to the citizens' comments. If you'd like to step up to the podium, you have about a few minutes to give us your opinions, your thoughts, anything on the legislation or the library.
Hello, good evening. Andrew Herent. I'm the manager of the Maple Heights branch for the Cuyahoga County Public Library. And a couple things I wanted to point out tonight. I know there's been some concerns about recycling in the community, and you know, I'm not a resident. I do know that the recycling program has been reduced. But the Maple Heights branch of the library is starting a pilot program, or has started a pilot program this past month, where we have a paper recycling bin that's open to the public, and it is located in the parking lot. And we are one of 3 branches in the county that are, we've contracted with, I can't remember the name of the company. It's written on the bin, it's like Happy Valley Paper Supply or something like that. But residents can drop off their recycling in the bin, paper of all sorts, books, magazines, newspapers, phone books, and they will be recycled, and the library does get a good portion of that money back to it. So, and also we're starting our fall programming season at the library, and for residents to be informed about what programs are going on at the library. The easiest way to do that, of course, we have some flyers and stuff at the library, but we also can sign up, people can sign up through their email to cuyahoga-library.org. You can sign up for the library's general announcements, which will get system-wide announcements, but you can also tailor your account to specifically get just programs for the Maple Heights branch. So, and those come out every month. The library sends you out a calendar, or we can also send out e-blasts for some specific programs. So if you want to hear what's going on at the library, if you have programs of interest for you, even if you just want to hear about children's programs, or you just want to hear about book discussions, you can actually tailor some of your announcements that you get. So just wanted to let everyone know that that was out there. So thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kimberly F. Brown, and I am the publisher of the Brown Report newspaper. But I'm also the Director of Public Relations for a skilled nursing facility. And every month we come to Maple Heights Senior Center delivering like breakfast or a lunch. Working with the senior population, I personally know for a fact that is very vital to any neighborhood, any community, because the seniors have actually led the way. They're the fabric of any community. We at the Brown Report newspaper, me and my staff, we are 100% behind your senior levy, as well as your operations levy. And it is my hope that every single person in this room, every single person in the community, and especially every single council person will stand behind your levies, especially the senior center. To not stand behind and support seniors tells me that you don't understand how America was built. America was built on people who've already paved the way. Seniors who come to a center, they do more than just play games. It's about health. It's about wellness. It's about providing these socialization skills. And sometimes that's the only type of connection they may have. Now, I don't know about any personal issues here in Maple Heights, and to be honest with you, I really don't care. But the fact of the matter is, my heart bleeds for seniors. My mom is a senior. I pray that one day I can become a senior. So here again, it's my hope that in spite of any type of personality conflicts that you may have, that Maple Heights will actually grow up and understand that they have to fight for the citizens and for the community of which you chose to serve. Because if you don't want to be a council person, you should just step aside and allow others to serve the city very well. And once again, my name is Kimberly F. Brown. Thank you.
My name is Ken Lewandowski. I'm a resident of Maple Heights for the past 60 years.
You need to talk into
I'm a resident of Maple Heights for the past 60 years. I was born here, so was my whole family.
What's your last name?
Lewandowski. I come here tonight concerned for the safety on Dunham Road. When school lets out and the parents come to pick their children up, we have bumper-to-bumper traffic on Dunham Road parked there, all the way from the entrance to the school, out of their parking lot, down Dunham, all the way to Turney Road. Last week, I myself had 2 near misses with cars that don't want to wait in that line, and they come out over the double yellow line and speed down the line trying to get around it. So I was wondering if there's any possible way, I know we're short-handed, but we can do something to maybe ticket a few of them and the rest will fall in line before somebody gets hurt. That's a bad section of Dunham Road, the way it is now. Whoever designed the parking lot back there to pick up the children and drop the children off didn't have foresight enough to put it all the way down and around and give them room to get off the Dunham Road. If there was a fire in that neighborhood, the fire engines and ambulances would not be able to get down Dunham Road at that time of the day. So that's all I have to say. I hope that we can do something about it before somebody gets hurt. Pardon me? Thank you.
Bailey wants 6226 Maplewood Court. I just want to re-emphasize what he just said. School system had previously auxiliary cops on Dunham Road. They're in a bind with the money. So they eliminated all the auxiliary police at that street, at the junior high. There's no police, auxiliary police in that area. They controlled the traffic going down Dunham. They controlled some of the traffic coming out of the junior high school. You wouldn't believe congestion, the kids crossing in the street, in traffic, not observing the traffic laws, the lights. They back talk, fight. And the police hands are tied. I see them traveling all over the city, and they can't be in every place. I'm asking city council, neighbors in the various areas to do somewhat of a block watch. There are several neighbors where I am guarding at. They come up, they try to help get the kids settling down, but to no avail. We have had about a week or two ago, we had a gang war fight. In fact, today, I think we had a couple fights today. Police are busy doing their job. The auxiliary police that the school did hire, that helped. Not anymore. There's no auxiliary cops around. That's all. Thank you.
James Powell, 145 Schreiber Road. I was at the meeting about increasing the taxes, and I'm just not convinced that higher taxes don't always guarantee a better city. Because I look around in Bedford, Brecksville, Robbie Heights, Independence, Seven Hills, Solon, Valley View, Walton Hills, all places that I would put my house from Maple Heights into if I could do it today, pay lower real estate taxes than we do in Maple Heights at this moment. And we want to raise our taxes, okay? Cleveland Heights, East Cleveland, Euclid, Garfield Heights, Shaker Heights, South Euclid, Warrensville Heights, all pay higher taxes than Maple Heights does right now. And I wouldn't put my house in any one of those cities. So increasing the taxes doesn't guarantee that you're going to have a better city. You need to just think smarter, do things differently, think outside the box, and maybe spend your money a little more wisely. One thing I'm curious about, we have 9 council members here for the city of Maple Heights. We have roughly, there's 7 councilmen, but there's 9 council members.
I'm not a council member.
Okay, so now we have roughly 23,000 people in Maple Heights. Columbus has roughly 800,000 people, okay? Columbus has 220 square miles. Maple Heights has 5 square miles. Columbus has 7 council members, which includes the council president, okay? How can they run 800,000 people on less council members than we do in Maple Heights? They're 35 times the size of Maple Heights, yet they're doing it with less people. Now I don't even know if it's still on the ballot, but I know they were talking earlier about a ballot to reduce our council members by 2, and I don't know if that's still on the ballot or not. But I was thinking we should probably reduce it by 4. I don't see how reducing it by 2 is going to do much. Getting back to recycling, you said that they would put the paper recycling outside the library. And I noticed there's also a paper recycling bin on Dunham Road outside the building department. Paper recycling isn't really the issue. Paper, you can bury it in the ground 10 years from now, it's going to be gone. What it is plastic and glass. I was thinking, did anybody think maybe we should put a plastic recycling thing next to the paper one on Dunham Road and put one on the east side so that the 20% of the people or 10% of the people that still want to recycle can go there. And I would imagine Waste Management wouldn't charge us too much to pick that up once a month. It would be a lot less expensive than going around to the entire city once every other week picking up the blue bags from 20% of the houses. I'm sure it would be cheaper than that. But we just cut it out and we say, okay, we'll recycle somewhere else, or we don't have enough people who recycle. One other thing I'd like to get to. We were talking about, and I didn't know that they had done away with the rent of police that were outside the schools, because I know the last time I went down the road, there were 4 of them standing out there directing traffic. And I'm just curious, putting more police out there is probably going to solve the problem for right now, but maybe designing the entrance exits, whoever put the schools there in the first place, might have been a smart thing to do, to design it better instead of dealing with the problem again.